Hello everyone, so we're going to do a class. You're going to need a band for the warm-up, so grab yourself a TheraBand or a stretch pair of tights, and we're going to bring it round the mid-back, round the ribs, so where your bra strap would go, and you're going to bring it into each hand, and we're going to draw the arms away from the body, so stretching on the band. And we're going to have our feet hip distance apart and parallel, pelvis in neutral, ribs stacked on top, shoulders on top of that, head on top of that. And you're just going to start breathing into the band, so all the way around the ribs and especially into the back of the ribs. So we're just coming into our lateral breathing. Nice big expansive inhale. And then exhaling slowly through the mouth, making your exhale twice as long as your inhale. So really breathing into the back of the ribs now. And on that inhale, think of a visualization. So maybe it's a handheld fan opening up, a shell, maybe it's a butterfly wings, the two sides of the ribs parting. So using something that resonates with you, and you can close down the eyes for this. And on that exhale, start thinking about lengthening through the body. So as the crown of the head reaches up on the exhale, it's like we're floating up towards the sky. So we've got our ribs opening like a shell, and we're floating up towards the sky on that exhale, making the exhale nice and soft and passive. Breathing into the back of the ribs. And now we're going to cross the band at the front. Take the band in opposite hands, and we're going to continue with that lateral breathing. So you're feeling it into the front of the ribs a little bit more now and into the sides. Big expansive inhale and a soft exhale. Really nice. We're going to release the band and place it down on the floor. So we're going to come into our first standing posture. So we're going to start in Athena. So feet hip distance apart and parallel, rooting down through all parts of the feet. Knees are soft, pelvis is in neutral, ribs are stacked on top, shoulders on top of that, head on top of that. We're going to stretch the fingers out, really reach them out, thumbs down to the earth. Imagine you're bringing your arms around a big beach ball. Listen to that conversation behind you. We're going to inhale into the ribs expanding. And exhaling softly and slowly through the mouth as the crown of the head floats up towards the sky. Inhaling into the ribs expand, opening up. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out, pause, slowly open your ribs as slow as you can. Option to stay here with the arms, or the option to lift the arms all the way up into your third arm position, making sure you don't flare the ribs. Really nice, holding it here, and then breathing in when you're ready. Lovely, let's keep the arms up here. Let's bring them into our Venus arms. So palms face forward, arms in front of the body, slightly bent with the arms, balance point is forwards. We're going to inhale into the ribs expand. And exhaling softly and slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs expanding. And exhaling, floating up towards the sky on that exhale. Inhale all the way around the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Keep those arms lifted, pause, shoulders down, open the ribs. Really nice. Option to keep the arms here, option to float them down into your low V position, keeping the arms in front of the body, spreading the shoulder blades. Balance point is forwards. Breathing in whenever you're ready. Really nice. Going to bring the arms into our second arm position now. So bringing them in front of the chest, no higher than the shoulders. Hands are shoulder distance apart, and we're spreading those shoulder blades away from each other. We're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expanding. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. Crown of the head floats up towards the sky. Inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. And exhaling, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling all the way around the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Drop those shoulders down. Hold the breath out. Pause. Slowly open the ribs here. Holding it here for as long as you can. Elbows nudging into resistance. Arms engaged at about 30%. And then breathing in when you're ready. Really nice. We're going to come into our Artemis position now. So we're going to bring the pinky fingers into that hip crease, or hold something in front of us. Push the jaw shut with the bottom, or we lift up and over our pinky fingers, looking for someone below a cliff. Bring the heels of the hands to the top of the thighs. Balance point is forwards. Slight curve in the lumbar spine, looking about 1.5 meters in front of you. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. And exhale slowly through the mouth. Crown of the head draws away from the sit bones, finding length. Inhale into the ribs, ribs expanding. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Pausing here, slow as you can, open the ribs. Keep the shoulders down. Holding it here for as long as you can. Lovely. And then breathing in when you're ready. We're going to come back up to standing. We're going to come into some rocking now. So bring the hands into your first arm position, balance point forwards. We're going to rock back, open the arms into our Venus arms. Arms stay in front of the body, elbows slightly bent, reach the fingertips away. Then we come back into first, then we come into second, or our T position, then we come back into second, then we go to high V and into third. Lovely. So when you're ready, balance point forwards, we're going to inhale, rock back, arms open up. Slowly exhale through the mouth, arms coming back into that first position in front of the hips. Inhaling, rocking back, arms open to a T. Slowly exhaling through the mouth, arms coming into second. Inhale, rocking back, arms high V, stretch the fingertips away. Exhale slowly through the mouth, arms coming into third, back as far as the hairline. Hold the breath out, pause, slowly open the ribs. Keeping those knees soft, pelvis neutral, dropping the shoulders. Breathing in when you're ready. Lovely. Coming back into Artemis. We're going to lift up and over those pinky fingers, lengthening through the spine, heels of the hands to the top of the thighs, balance point is forwards. When you're ready, we're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expanding. On the exhale, reach the crown of the head away, lengthen through the neck, chin comes towards the chest, keeping space for a plum. Inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. On the exhale, curling just above the bra strap, really nice. Inhale into the ribs, keep that balance point forwards. Exhale slowly through the mouth, lifting the belly up and over a big beach ball. Hands slide down just above the knees, look at your belly button. Hold the breath out and widen the ribs here. Lovely, holding it here for another 3, 2, 1. Inhale when you're ready. Exhale, reach the hands about 2 feet forwards. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, look back at your legs. Exhale, drop your knees behind your hands. Look at your belly button. Inhaling here. exhale, we rise up onto the knees and we're setting up in our aura position. Toes are tucked under at the back, knees are hip distance apart, feet are hip distance apart, pelvis is neutral, heavy weight on the tailbone, drawing that tailbone down towards the floor. Ribs are stacked over pelvis, shoulders on top, head on top of that. Bring the arms into your first arm position, bring the balance point forwards, and we're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expand, and exhaling slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs, ribs expanding, and exhaling softly and slowly. Inhaling into the ribs, exhaling slowly through the mouth, crown of the head draws up, hold the breath out, pause, slowly open the ribs. Option to lift the arms all the way up into your third arm position, keep the shoulders down, don't flare the ribs. Holding it here for as long as you can, and then breathing in whenever you're ready. Lovely. Let's bring the arms out into our high V position. Arms in front of the body, spread the fingertips away and spread the shoulder blades apart. Balance point is still forwards, drawing that tailbone down a little bit. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale into the ribs, ribs expanding. And then exhale, crown of the head floats up towards the sky. Inhaling into the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Pause. Open the ribs here. Option to stay here with the arms or option to bring them through that T position, bringing them all the way down into that low V position. Keep spreading through the fingers. Really nice. Breathing in when you're ready. Lovely. We're going to sit back onto the heels and then we're going to come into our all fours position, our Gaia position. Hands facing towards each other, elbows slightly bent, toes are tucked under at the back. We want the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the mat apart with the hands. Really nice. We get that spreading of the shoulder blades, activation of the shoulder girdle. When you're ready, we're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expanding. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs. And exhaling softly and slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale into the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Pausing here. Slowly open the ribs. Holding it here for as long as you can. Lovely. And then breathing in whenever you're ready. Really nice. We're going to replace the hands with the elbows. So your forearms are going to come out in front of you as if on train tracks. Equal space between the hands as there is between the elbows. We're going to spread the mat apart with those forearms. Feeling that shoulder girdle activation. Lovely. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale into the ribs. Ribs expand. Taking the gaze back towards the thighs. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Inhaling into the ribs. And exhale softly and slowly. Imagine you're breathing into my hand that is placed on your mid-back. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Pausing here. Slowly open the ribs. Holding it here. And then breathing in whenever you're ready. We're going to bring the hands together in the centre, walk the elbows out towards the side, or draw the hands back in line with the elbows, whichever variation you're working with. You either rest the head onto the hands, or if you've got that triangle point created with the arms, you rest the head behind the hands, just making sure you're not collapsing through the shoulder girdle. We're going to inhale into the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling into the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Pausing here, slowly open the ribs. Lovely, holding it here. And then breathing in whenever you're ready. Lovely, we're going to inhale in position. Exhale, cross the feet over at the back, feet flat on the floor. We inhale, stretch the arms out in front of you, bringing the bottom towards the feet. On the exhale, slide your hands and place them by the knees. We inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to push into the hands and bring ourselves over onto our bottom, coming into our Hestia position. So we're going to dorsiflex the feet, root down through the sit bones, so remove the flesh away from the sit bones, bring the hands out to the side, thumbs down to the earth, around that big beach ball, heels of the hands on the thighs, thighs pushing into hands, hands pushing into thighs, ribs are stacked over the pelvis, head is on top, listening to that conversation behind you. We're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. Inhaling into the ribs, ribs expanding. And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhaling slowly through the mouth, crown of the head lengthens up towards the sky. Hold the breath out, pause, slowly open your ribs. Option to raise the arms all the way up, keeping those ribs stacked over the pelvis, bringing them out into our Venus arm, spreading those shoulder blades away, breathing in when you're ready. Lovely. We're going to make our way down through the side and then rolling over onto our back. We're going to come into Demeter, so we're going to bring the feet further away from the body, dorsiflex the feet, draw the heels back towards you without moving them, and then make sure pelvis is in neutral, back of the ribs are on the floor and occipital bone is on the floor. Lift the palms of the hands off, thumbs down to the earth, around that big beach ball, spread shoulder blades away from each other. When you're ready, we're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expanding, and exhaling softly and slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. And exhale slowly through the mouth. Inhale into the ribs. Exhaling slowly through the mouth. Pausing here, slowly open those ribs. Lovely. Option to keep the hands here or option to bring those arms all the way up into your third arm position, as far back as that hairline, keeping the ribs on the floor, back of the ribs on the floor. Lovely. Holding it here for as long as you can, and then breathing in whenever you're ready. Bringing the feet underneath the knees. Option to have the feet flat on the floor or the option to come into dorsiflexion as a progression. Bring the hands down by your side. When you're ready, we're going to inhale into the ribs, ribs expand. Exhaling slowly through the mouth, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale into the ribs. And exhale softly and slowly. Inhaling into the ribs, ribs expanding. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Pause here. Slowly open the ribs, drawing the knees away from the body as you lift the pelvis and the rib cage up at the same time. Hold it here for as long as you can. And then breathing in at the top. Exhale, we bring everything back down to the earth. Nice. We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, bring them towards the armpits, uncurl that tailbone down towards the floor, and then take 5 nice deep breaths into the back of the ribs, fully releasing the pelvic floor to finish. Breathing out through the nose or through the mouth, but sending the breath to the back of the ribs. Breathe down into the earth. Lovely. Taking one last breath. Releasing the feet back down, roll over onto your side, guide yourself back up to sitting. And that is our practice complete. Thanks for practicing with me. Drop in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Hit subscribe so you get the next notification about the next flow. Thanks so much.